Yeah. I feel like this conversation has taken a strange turn.
I don't know. I think it's a good turn. Talk about
Talking
girls.
Yeah.
about
How's
girls.
your love life, guys? Anthony, how's your love life?
How's my love life? Non-existent right now. I sit at home doing nothing, talking to
What?
Dylan.
Not even
Yep.
talk to any cute girls online?
I mean, I talk to people online, but it's not like a love life. It's just as a friend thing.
It's good enough. Good enough.
Yeah, good enough. Yeah, it's good enough. Just as long as you're in contact, you know how to talk to them.
Yeah.
Wouldn't want it to get awkward.
You can't be that socially awkward penguin just
Yeah.
like
No,
running away from every girl.
nope. I'm gonna be honest with you. The only girl I talk to is Dylan's grandmother. So
Well, she's super hot though.
she is. She's beautiful.
I'll make sure to tell her that
voluptuous woman.
next time I see her, guys. I won't.
Please don't. 'Cause I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't even know your grandma. And anyway, uh, shake your head to see the picture. That doesn't make any sense. All right.
Okay.
This is the pause.
Yeah.
These are the pauses I was
I
talking
guess
about.
I can talk about
We
my
need to
love
avoid
life
those.
now. There's my best friend that I've been in love with since I met her in the 9th grade. And then there's this other girl that I dated before, and I still like her a lot. And me and her have been talking a lot more lately, and so on and so on. And I really hope she doesn't watch this, because that could blow my cover. Yeah.
It could blow your
I'm bl-
cover. You're like
I'm
the
just trying to play it
CIA,
cool right now.
the CIA of love. Just trying to play it cool. That's how you do it, man. That's how you do it. So
I have no idea how to play cool. I do not have that skill at all.
Well,
that's
But
that
then my
skill is
girlfriend,
not
I met her, like we played online and we met at PAX and I seen her at the bar and I was like, hey, you want to go out sometime? Like, it was like the first sentences I said to her. I said like, hi, how are you? And she's like, hey, you want to go sometime? She's like, yeah. I was like,
sometimes
great.
girls love socially awkward men.
So she's like, when do you want to go for a date? And I was like, right now. And she was like, okay.
Yeah, but
I wish it were that easy with people around here.
it,
Just saying. Around here, you have to go through like
around,
this whole process.
around
You have
here,
to talk to
if
them
you're
for
not
like 8
Facebook
months.
official, you're just not happening.
Yeah.
Facebook official when you're
If you're not-
in a relationship on Facebook.
Facebook official. Yeah, you have to be on a relationship in
We live
Facebook
in the
around here to
Dawson's
be in a
Creek of
relationship.
Virginia.
We do. Southampton County is the Dawson's Creek of Virginia. Quote of the day by Dylan Muller. Yeah.
But, okay.
Jesus Christ, another
me and
pause.
my buddy Matt, we used to like they're like they have such crude humor in them. Me, my buddy Matt, and a couple other friends. We made this like chronicle of comics in like the 7th and 8th grade. We called them like the something of McSkillet, and it had nothing to do with like the cover. We just had a whole bunch of crude humor just written down and drawn into like one little folder, and we're like 10th graders and 11th graders, so we found the stupidest shit funny. But now that I look back, it's just like, this can be funny, it's just not executed right.
Yeah, that's the thing with growing up, man. What you found funny like 3 or 4 years ago, it's just like it's not as funny anymore. It's just kind of like, wow, we were dumb kids, just like every other person. It's weird growing up, man. It's just weird. I mean, Dylan, me and you,
Yeah.
we're out of high school
Yeah, but I have
next year.
plans, so I'm pretty good.
So I have plans too, but I'm just saying,
Yeah.
it's just weird that it's there. And you go through your whole life, you're a baby, which you don't remember, and then you're a toddler, which you barely remember,
And then
and
there
then
goes
you're
that
in school,
phase when you're like,
which you remember.
with like, I'm trying to think. You're sitting at the lunchroom table in middle school, and like you're realizing Pokemon isn't like as it isn't the most amazing thing anymore.
most
There are
amazing
things
thing in the
going
world.
on, like girls are getting boobs and shit. Everything's just going awesome, and you have to get into that.
Oh, that day when you realize Pokemon isn't the day you realize Pokemon isn't
Exactly.
everything because girls are getting boobs. That's how you got to do it, man. I feel like Luke is being silent.
I'm just trying to
He's
remember
just
those days
reminiscing.
myself.
Reminiscing.
Yeah, just like the first day back, first day in high school, all the girls I knew in middle school were there. It's like, wait, they look
Those two
different.
jiggly
What
things
is
in the
that?
front.
That's how it is. That's
Yeah,
how it is.
no,
That's how it is when you're growing up, man. It's just like
yeah,
one day you're playing Pokemon, next day you're like, boobs.
So
Whoa,
yeah. And it
it's
was
weird.
great too. Just a buddy of mine, like first day of school, just walked up to one of the girls, like, "Wow, I haven't seen you all summer. I bet you can't touch your elbows behind your back." She's like, "Yes, I can." I'm like, "Oh, this is too good."
I remember this one time, names will not be disclosed, but let's say one time I was standing in a lunch line with one of my friends, Matthew, not Matthew, Dylan. You're not Matthew, by the way, Dylan. Dylan, you might know who I'm talking about as soon as I just said his name. We were in the line, and he was talking to a female, and he said, "Oh, your boobs are fake." And the girl goes, "No, they're not." And he goes, "Yeah, they are." And the girl goes, "Oh yeah, you want to see?" And she, in the lunch line in 8th grade, she flashes Matthew, like just right there. I don't know if Matthew remembers that, but I remember it clear as day because it was just like that
speaking
just
of
happened.
lines that
That
you've been in,
definitely just
AJ,
happened.
that kind of reminds me of all the shit, like all the trouble I've gotten in with that one girl that I like. That I'm not gonna disclose her name. Like how I was just sitting in the lunch line and I pissed her off that day, and how confusing women are. Like, cause her friend is just in the line behind us, and I said some shit like, I don't know, I was talking about her or something like that, and then she turns us around, she's like, "Oh, it was you," and then walks away.
Another story about lunch lines. Everything happens in the lunch line when you're in school for some reason. Dylan, do you remember that time? It was like,
Yeah.
oh, it was halfway through the school year, I think, and I had this book bag
Oh yeah,
on,
the
and
guitar
it was
pick,
like full of stuff. And I dropped my guitar
and you
pick,
landed on your
and I tried
ass.
to pick up my guitar pick, and I just fell over. I just fell over. I
What about you,
was just
Luke? Do
like,
you have
yep,
any
I don't want to be on
interesting
my
lunch
feet
line
anymore.
stories? Do you have any interesting lunch line stories?
Sorry, what? No,
Uh,
no. I said I grew up in rural Canada. I went to this kind of small, very religious private school. No such
you
things as
just
like
brought
lunch
your
lines or
lunch.
anything like that. No,
Yeah.
like our
Oh.
school was at church kind of thing. So
All right. If only Luke had interesting lunchline stories, because I feel like that's gonna be the basis
Oh,
for our podcast now.
you said
Interesting
you have
lunchline
been to
stories.
PAX. Like, what
If
was
you were,
PAX like?
if you have,
mm, I've been to every PAX except for the very first one. PAX is huge. It's it's just so monstrous. Like I, mean,
Oh.
I spend most of my time at the booth though, so I just get to meet so many people at PAX. It's just hilarious. Um, so I live in Vancouver, which is just north of Seattle. So many of the people I meet at PAX are from the Seattle area, and I've just made so many friends just through PAX. It's been hilarious.
geez, I wish I could make friends. I don't have any friends.
Yeah.
Dylan's not really my friend. He just talks to me. No,
Just think,
I'm
you
joking.
gotta make friends online and then go out and meet them in person. It's so great. Like just to get to meet
Yeah,
people
you've gotta be
in life,
safe
in
with
real
that,
life
though.
that you've met online. That's where 90% of my friends come from right now. Is folks I met online. Like, hey, let's get together. Let's get a beer.
How it's done.
And they're like, yep, let's do that.
That sounds great. It's like I said, Southern Virginia is just full of a bunch of
Yeah.
rednecks.
Well, I
I don't
guess
care about.
Yes.
the legal drinking age there is what, 21.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it makes it a little harder if you're gonna
Hey,
go
let's
like,
go
hey,
for a
let's go for a
pop
beer when
or something like
you
that.
can't. Where
Yeah. Hey, let's go for a soda. We could like buy some cotton candy or something. No, dude. Sorry, we don't eat cotton candy anymore. We're not 5.
yeah, yeah. When I was like
Yeah.
legal drinking age here is like 18 or 19. I've also lived in Europe for a
Yeah, I've
bit,
seen
and
some stuff
there
about
was like
that.
16. So I've always just had that option of like, hey, let's go hit the pub.
If I could live in any other country,
I
it
would
would probably be
probably,
like Europe or something, like Italy, maybe. It would be it would probably be
for
Italy
me,
because
it would probably be
my family's from
Ireland.
Italy. I
I
love
don't know.
Italy.
Something about Ireland just,
I would go with Ireland as my second
yeah.
chance because the other side of my family is from Ireland. But I like my Italian side better because I'm pretty sure they were in the mafia. Just don't ask
Mm.
questions about why I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure
Italy.
about that.
Italy is just beautiful.
Yeah, I love the way. I would love to go to Italy.
The,
Like,
the only time I would say I've been out of state,
yeah.
it would be about 2 times. The first time was That time I went to Pennsylvania, and then there was this one time I was with this girl with a couple friends, and we accidentally crossed the South Carolina state line, or the North Carolina state line. I mean, it was an adventure, I guess.
I've been out of state several times. I've been to every state around Virginia, basically. And my least favorite one is West Virginia. That place is crazy, man. I have family there. The only reason I go there is to visit family. I would never choose to go to West Virginia. Like, I would never be sitting around one day and just be like, "Yeah, I'm gonna take a trip to West Virginia. Do something," because there's nothing there. Just mountains and more mountains. It's crazy. I don't.
Oh, I
If
promised
only there
my
was more
friend
to
I would
do,
do this because
I would
she's
go.
like a big artist. Like she's not like big as in like she's selling crap or anything like that, but she's a writer and an artist. So she wanted me to just say hi to you, Luke. Just her name's Zoe. Oh, that's yeah.
Hi, Zoe.
Zoe.
Beal.
Shout out to Zoe.
Yes.
Zoe. Which Zoe? Zoe
Yeah.
Beal. Shout out to Zoe Beal. I figured that's the one you were talking about. Shout out her. Oh, wait. So I assume we have two female people who
No,
have
I just brought up the
watched the
fact that
podcast.
we were gonna have somebody that did like art of some sort on the
You-
podcast. She just wanted to get her name out there because she's one big art fanatic. Yeah.
She has some good art that she's done. I've seen some. I mean, yep. She should be on the podcast next week.
Yeah, definitely. Like, interview
her
lots of artists. Like, I imagine a lot more of them have a
you're
lot
pretty
more
fun to
interesting
talk
things
to.
to say than me. Like, I'm not really so much an
You're
artist.
just like
I
an
just
everyday
happen
guy,
to be a
except
guy who
you just
draws.
like you're recognized for like all this, and like you have like
You just have to
amazing
have one of the
talent
coolest
with
jobs
like
in the
because
world.
you managed
In
to
my
do
opinion.
like all those comics with just like MS Paint, dude. That's just like for me that would be like so tough. That would take so long.
It would
Well,
take me like
I
several
did-
days.
I did start learning other programs pretty quickly. It didn't take me too long
Yeah.
to realize that MS Paint is a bad idea. It's actually a really underrated program. Like, it's great, but no, like
Yeah.
Photoshop is a lot more fun.
I know. I've taken several art classes. Like I said, I failed 1 year of art. I failed art 2, and I'm redeeming myself my senior year. I'm gonna pass that class this year. But I think I've taken other art classes. I took graphic design last year. In that class, we used Adobe Illustrator, and I just blew my mind of all the stuff I could do. And I made my only piece of fan art that I've ever made was for the game The Binding of Isaac by Edmund McMillan made it. And I love his art in his games. Like Super Meat Boy, the art was awesome. Binding of Isaac, art's awesome. And the only fan art I've done is from that game, and I haven't even put it on the internet at all. So I'll probably put it up sometime. I don't know. But yeah, it's some of the programs out there. It's just you can do so much with them. It's crazy.
Okay, so like
Pause. We paused again.
I don't know.
By the way,
Random subject. Pandas. How do you guys feel about pandas?
pandas. I love. I've seen a panda masturbating. I'm serious. No, in person. When we went to the Washington Zoo.
I don't know, I guess they're pretty good with the ginger sauce.
Yeah, they're delicious. Pandas are so delicious. It must be all the bamboo they eat. I've never had
They're not
bamboo.
so
before.
delicious. It's just the fact
Yeah.
that they're endangered that makes them more tasty.
It's the fact that they're.
Like
Yeah.
I guess another random topic.
wait, which
slap
ones
bracelets.
are slap
Yay or
bracelets?
nay?
Oh, they're like those little cardboard things and you hit
The
them
ones-
over your wrist. Yeah, those things are pretty cool. Yeah, yay.
Yeah.
I think they're cool. I want to
Yeah,
say
Achievement
yeah.
Hunter just had some made up, and they gave me one, and I've been just pulling it off, slapping it on my wrist over and over. It's like, man, I really is this my life's entertainment? Just a slap bracelet? It's like, yep, yes it is.
Yeah, I've been thinking. I saw those online on the store. I've been thinking about buying them because I think you can buy them in two in a pair. I could buy
Oh, yeah.
buy one package and get two. Give one to me. Give one to Dylan. Then Dylan
Yeah,
can have one.
that's the best thing. It's a great gift to give because you don't say anything. You just walk up to the person, slap them on
And
the
I
wrist, and
remember
like,
I
bam, there
hated
you go.
those in
Yep.
like elementary school
Just
because
be
I
like,
was that one kid who was like
absolutely.
afraid of everything. I was that one paranoid kid, and like somebody just walk up to me with like a little stick type thing and slap it on my wrist, and they would just turn around and be like, "Oh shit."
I want you to know that when you said you were the kid who was always paranoid and just walking around, I imagined you like holding two books up
That's
to your
what I
chest,
did.
wide-eyed, and just glancing
I
around
was
every corner, like a
that was
your
around like
cat or something.
second
That's what you did.
and like third grade. Around fifth grade was that phase where I just like tried to fight everybody. Ugh. Yeah.
Fifth grade. My fifth grade was
No,
awesome.
Miss
I had
Shirley
the
is
best
the best
history teacher.
Just saying. Okay.
Second best history teacher. Fine. All right. No, it was really nice because I saw that teacher recently at something. It was just really cool. I like. I don't know. I forgot where I was going with this.
My
Random topic.
girlfriend is still pissed at me there.
Potato.
Cover us on that. Yeah.
Oh, she is. I
Yeah.
should send her a message. Stop being pissed at Dylan. Get
I
over
tried to
it.
fix it.
Solve your differences. Go back to being friends. You need to hurry up and fix it, Dylan. No, I'm joking. Take your time. Take your time.
Yes, video games. I
Um,
heard they were
video
like
games.
more stimulating for the mind than just sitting there watching TV. Yeah, you have to solve.
I've heard
like,
that too
puzzles
because
and
you actually
shit.
have to think about them. I like the argument that some people say that video games aren't art, but that's easy to argue
My
because
one rebuttal.
obviously
Then
they
if
are
somebody
because
said
it
that to
takes
me, I would just say, look at Shadow of the
a lot of.
Colossus.
I would say look at that. I would
Yeah.
also say look at the game Journey for PS3. That game is
Oh
beautiful.
yeah, that game is pretty sweet.
I'd say look at Limbo.
Limbo's great.
That's
I
my
don't- I-
desktop right now.
I'd probably also say what's that game? Super Meat Boy. I just talked about it.
So,
Super Meat
Luke,
Boy's
do you
great.
like
I love
write
that
any
game.
stories or like any form of like poetry or anything like that? Like,
Well, since the Rooster Teeth comics have come to an end, I've been working on comics on my own. Mostly this one called Balls to That. And in fact, I'm writing tomorrow's comic right now. And I'm not really a writer. Like
Yeah.
as I said, like I kind of stumbled into art by mistake, and now like I was, but I did all right in art class. I did terrible in English. I did terrible in creative writing, those sorts of things. And now I'm working as a writer as well too. So this is really
I usually do
bizarre.
good in English, but this last year I was
I am
like
actually in the
one
process of
project
writing a
away
story
from
at the
failing.
moment. It's about this guy who's basically the. Have you ever been on the website 4chan or anything like that? Well, like I basically
Yeah, I've
like
seen that.
you know the people that go up there like what you'd expect them to look like the trolls and crap or something like that. I basically made a story about what it would be like in the life in the mind of one of those people that like is in the dirty part of 4chan and all that stuff.
And
Yeah.
basically, he's writing a story about one of our friends.
It's a
'Cause
it's
one
more
of our
like a
friends
mesh of a
is
lot of
this
my
guy.
friends in like one
Like,
person because there's like a
tooth
lot
for
of
tooth.
things that are going through his head about it and like it's pretty nice.
Yeah,
It's funny. I try to write
it's
it to
creepy,
be
Dylan.
like that type
That's-
of funny that you feel bad for laughing at, but it's hilarious.
Yeah, no, I've dabbed into writing myself a little bit. I've started something that I'm still not comfortable with talking about to the point, but I want to say if you like Game of Thrones, you'll might like this because it's not
I've
it's
been
not as
doing
intense
poetry
as Game
for a
of
while
Thrones,
also,
but it's
like,
pretty close.
I have a couple poems on a website, but they're not anything like out of the ordinary or anything. Just basic stuff like just like how a cynical person would see the world, sorta.
I'm not gonna lie, I read one of your poems and I read the comments on the poem, and it was interesting to see.
Like,
People
honestly,
go crazy
you
about
can get the
poetry.
ladies from poetry, in my opinion.
Yeah. Another pause. I'm not gonna let this happen. Every
Well,
time
actually-
I feel a pause coming.
This actually
Continue.
probably might be a good time to say, like, I do actually got to get back to work right now. I really need to work on this
Okay, well,
comic.
it's
It's
been
pretty
good having
due
you on the
in 2
podcast,
hours.
and I
So,
guess we'll end it off
All
here.
right.
So, AJ, do you
Well,
want to sign us out?
yeah, it's been a pleasure. I've been, I've been nerding out. Thank you for being on, Luke. Ladies and gentlemen, goodbye, farewell, and
Salutations.
go eat some pizza while you do stuff. Salutations.